Right. Welcome to this meditation on creating neutrality towards others. I'm going to show you tonight a way to create neutrality with a person or a group of people. So I picked this time of the year because, as we know, holidays can be highly charged, whether you're going to see friends or family. So in this meditation, I'm going to show you how to create neutrality through using mental imaging. We'll get into the meditation in a moment, but I just want to give you a couple of examples of things, people or situations we may not be able to get neutral to or have a hard time getting neutral to. So if you think about whether you were a mask wearer or a non-mask wearer, a vaccinator or a non-vaccinator, the political party you align with, those are some pretty big energies where we may have a hard time getting neutral to someone else who doesn't align with our beliefs. So quite often we're not neutral when people live or act a certain way because we see it as incorrect for the way we are choosing to live our life. So if you can't create that neutrality because of the way you vibrate and create that, allow that other person to have their pictures or their energy for the beliefs that are right for them, we will sit in judgment of that person. And when we are in judgment of another person, when you judge somebody, you're sending energy out and they're probably going to start sending some energy back. And of course, that starts to create karma. And that's not really the best way that we want to live, because at some point we have to work that karma out. But also, if you really think about the fact that it's really hard to get neutral to somebody, it's going to affect your life. And life isn't as much fun if you sit in kind of that anger or resentment. And just real quickly before we start the meditation, there was somebody very close to me that I was really having a hard time getting neutrality towards. And I could look at this person and say, wow, their life is a train wreck. Like, how can you not get back on the tracks? And then I was thinking, wow, I don't know what that soul's creating this lifetime for their growth. And I'll go through a little bit more of that when we're in the meditation. And then I could stop judging, going, well, I don't know what they're creating. Maybe their soul mocked all of this up or created all these experiences for their growth. So that really helped me to have some neutrality and stop judging that person, because frankly, I wouldn't have lived my life that way. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just the way I wouldn't live it. This person's entitled to live their life the way they need to live it. So we'll go ahead and get our bodies grounded, and then I'll walk you through how to create this visual and see if you can create some space for yourself. So you'll have the opportunity to look at the energy with, let's just say, one person that you want to create some neutrality with. So you can have that person in mind. Close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths and relax. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor, back straight, chin level. If you lay down, as I always say, you may fall asleep. So also keeping your legs uncrossed. And when you cross your legs or your arms, you're actually stopping the flow of energy that you're going to be releasing tonight. With your eyes closed, tune into your body and your energy and where you are right now. See if you can pull your energy in around you. And what I mean by that is literally pulling your aura in around you. So your aura is ideally, 2 to 3 feet around you on all sides. It's 2 feet under your feet. It should ideally be 2 feet above your head, 2 to 3 feet, and the same distance around you on all sides. Our energy spreads out during the day. So for this meditation, see if you can collect it up and back in around you. And if you know the tool of a grounding cord and you have a current grounding cord on your body, go ahead and release that. Let it retract into the planet. And I'll walk you through creating a new grounding cord. So if you're new to creating a grounding cord, it's just a line of energy that connects the base of your spine, that's proximity to where your root chakra, your first chakra, is located. And you just want to create a line of energy that connects that chakra to the center of the planet. So it doesn't matter what visual you use. You could use an open tube. Something that's open and hollow is great because it allows you to release more energy. So see if you can create a line of energy that connects you from your root chakra, and without overthinking it, see if you can send that hollow tube or line of energy down through the seat below you, the floor, the rocks, the rubble, down through all the layers of the planet, where it plugs into the crystalline core. You kind of want to make sure that grounding cord is tight. You could even pluck it like a guitar string just to make sure it's really secure. I like to have a little more expanded grounding cord so that I can release more energy. So visualize expanding that grounding cord out to your hips width, so it's as wide at your hips as it is in the center of the planet, so the whole way down it's as wide as your hips. And once you make that connection in the center of the planet, gravity begins to work with that grounding cord to help you pull the energies that you're going to want to release out of your space, out of your aura. And I'll call it a few energies that you might want to look at in your space and release. You can see it, sense it, feel it. Maybe you feel it in a particular area of your body. And again, this is no effort. All you have to do is say hello to one energy and allow it to be pulled down all the way down the grounding cord in the center of the planet, where that energy gets recycled. So focus on the energy anywhere you're holding stress in your body. I like to begin with that one because we all know that there's a lot of stress in life. See if you can allow that stress to release off the top of your head, where it maybe settles in around your jaws, the back of your head. You hold stress in your chest or your back. Let it release out of your body like grains of sand down an hourglass. So it releases from the top of your head, down through your body, your arms, your fingers, your torso, off your legs, down the grounding cord. Can you release some demands out of your space? Those could be demands from other people, demands you put on yourself. If you have kids who have a lot of demands, coworkers, clients. Are you holding on to any, we'll say, survival energy? I've worked with a lot of people recently who are in a lot of survival. Survival could be in around the energy of money. It could be somebody else's survival energy that you're thinking is yours, right? People can put energy in our space all the time. So if you've been feeling activated or in a survival picture, focus down on the base of your spine where that root chakra is. And if you sense any energy held in there around survival, let gravity pull it down that grounding cord. And again, if you're ever worried about anything, Like, well, just money's an easy one. If you're worried about money, you are probably in survival and you are probably not in present time. And as you know, grounding and releasing, and then when we collect up our energy in a moment here, those are the tools you use to get your body back in present time. Okay, and look for one more energy, and that's just unconscious energy. That's unconscious energy that could be ours, or it could be energy that we just have picked up by being on the planet. You might have some of that unconscious energy in your aura as well. So check that space as well, or just postulate that unconscious energy releases out of your space. And that's an energy you really should check for every day in your space, or every day that you ground, is unconscious energy. Okay, and as I just mentioned, in order to get your kind of complete the cycle of getting your energy back, grounding, releasing, replenishing, in order to collect your energy, you need to create a visual to gather your energy back. A simple way to do that is imagining a large, warm, golden sun. Just a simple golden sun sitting about 6 inches above your head. And have the thought that this golden sun can magnetize your energy back to you from wherever you left it. We leave a little energy behind everywhere we go, with people and places and conversations and electronic communication and projects. You may have energy sitting all the way back still in childhood. We won't go that far back tonight, but just think about maybe even from Monday. Where have you left your energy? Postulate or see it coming back into the sun above your head. You can see it coming in as lines of energy, vapors, colors, or the thought it comes back and only your energy comes back into that sun. So I'll give you a moment to collect up your energy. And when you've got your energy pulled into that sun, you're going to imagine you can bring that sun in through the top of your head. And that gold energy, which is your vital life force energy, starts to flow into your body. It can flow down like liquid gold almost into your toes, excuse me, filling you up your feet, your legs, up your torso, saturating all your cells and organs to your fingertips, to the top of your head. And if you've not practiced doing this, like really collecting up your energy, just ask yourself right now, what percentage is my energy still, excuse me, out in places and spaces? And create another sun above your head once you get that number. So if it's a low number, you may need to make another golden sun or two to really make sure you collect your energy up into that sun. See if that creating that second sun, you can get more energy back. And then bring that sun in through the top of your head and fill yourself in one more time, saturating all your cells and organs. And if you really have a hard time getting up and getting going in the morning, or getting feeling exhausted during the day, you might want to really see where your energy is and use some more golden suns to collect up your energy. Or you may just need a few extra golden suns full of vitality just to keep filling yourself in. Okay, good job, everybody. We're going to go ahead and create the visual now for creating neutrality towards other people. So this is going to be really simple. Where you're sitting right now, I want you to imagine that where you're sitting is actually, excuse me, in the back of a giant theater. You're in the very last row, up high in the back, 300 empty seats between you and the stage down below. And on the stage, I want you to visualize the person you want to create neutrality towards. This is a person that may really light you up energetically, makes you angry, or has done something to you. And because of this, or maybe even how they live their life, you're not in agreement with, you find it hard to get neutral. So now with all that space between you and this person on the stage, can you sit back in that back seat and just imagine that this person is an actor in their own play, which is their play, their life? Can you sit back and not judge them? Can you just observe them watching, or excuse me, acting out the scenes from their life? And some of these scenes, you have seen them in these acts and you've judged them for. And maybe they did something to you that you just can't get neutral to. So right now, can you sit in some forgiveness for yourself and for them? I'm not saying you have to forgive them, but can you have some forgiveness? Because after all, we're just souls and bodies trying to figure out our lives. And again, as I mentioned earlier, maybe you see their life as a train wreck, or they're making bad decisions. Maybe they're making great decisions, this person on the stage, and because they're making so many great decisions, you judge them for that. Maybe they've made a lot of money and that puts you into pain, so you're judging them for being successful. It doesn't matter, it could be anything. But again, however they behave and the choices they make is based on the goals they set, coming in here, coming to this body and this planet as a soul. Could be how they were raised, the home they were raised in, could be from traumas they experienced, programming that they believed, whether it's right or in alignment with you, lots of programming. But whatever they're working through, or the karma they're working through, is what their soul needs for its growth. And these are their lessons. Can we stop judging their lessons, their path, just because it's not in alignment with ours? Just want you to take a moment to feel that. Remember, you have a grounding cord on your body. So as you're watching them dance back and forth, or maybe you're seeing those certain acts in a play where you're remembering something or some harsh words, can you just feel into your body, and where you're holding that sadness, stress, tension, anger, resentment, can you just breathe and allow it to release out of your body? You might feel it in your heart, so heart chakra. You might feel it in your throat chakra, words you'd like to say. That's not going to do any good anyway, because they probably won't hear you. So release wherever you're feeling this tension in your body, and I'm going to give you a moment to release it down your grounding cord. And if you're still having a hard time, you can even just imagine adding a few more rows of empty seats to create even more space. And the reason why I came up with this visual is the way I used to say this was just let people have their pictures, meaning have their ideas of what is right for them in their life. But that can be kind of hard to understand. And so I was thinking, okay, well, if you could create so much space, like if you're just literally sitting back, watching and observing and not judging, not having to put a label on it or make them wrong. But if you can create all this space just to understand that this is literally a soul dancing and playing or whatever their decisions are, if you can give them that space, you'll stop creating karma with them. You will start to enjoy your life more. Because I'll tell you what, when you judge somebody else, they're going to feel that energy, probably throw some back at you. That can stop your creative flow. And it also creates karma. And a goal for all of us should be to stop creating karma. If you want to be more elevated or expanded in life, you've got to find neutrality. And hopefully the space is kind of lightening up as you start to realize that this person should have the right to make the decisions that are correct for them. But now I want you to do something else. I want you to visualize yourself on the stage and this person in that very last row. And that person is sitting in that back row looking at you, or maybe they've judged you, and see how vulnerable you feel when you're down on the stage and somebody else is scrutinizing, watching, and judging your actions. How does that feel? You probably feel vulnerable. You could feel some resentment. So remember, if you're switching these positions, you may feel more activated in your body. Can feel a lot of energy around people's heart chakras right now. So go ahead and release that out of your body. And as you're doing this, you really may start to have a better feel in your body, feel what it feels like to be on the other end of receiving that kind of energy, may help you to remember or realize when you are judging someone else. And as you're on the stage, can you have some forgiveness for that person in the back row? Because you were just sitting there, possibly being the person judging. And I want you to switch positions one more time. Put this person back on the stage, and then I want you to go back to that very last row. And as you're healing this, holding it at forgiveness, clearing the energy that's affecting you in your body and in your chakras, and just creating that space and looking at them as just a vulnerable soul, can you have more compassion and more neutrality for who they are and what they're creating? Does it feel different than when you first started looking at them on their stage? And people who really get activated with oftentimes is family. They are our biggest teachers, and we have a lot of karma with family. So remember to, at the holidays, if you're in these gatherings, go in with the intention, maybe set your intention that you are finding neutrality towards this person or group of people. And we won't look at a group of people on the stage, but just before you go to that gathering, have a visual of the family dynamics if you're going to family, because you know how it's probably going to go. Somebody may drink too much, somebody is obnoxious, somebody it runs weird energy. Can you sit back while you're in that space? It may be, you may be in close proximity, but can you still create the space of imagining them on the stage, or that group of people on the stage eating dinner or celebrating, and you're still sitting in the back row, even though you may be close to somebody sitting in a chair next to you? Can you still have that visual where you have that much space so that you can just create kind of like a gap in the energy, not a gap, but some distance energetically, so that you can just observe? And that'll be a really good lesson for you moving forward, because people will always light us up. We'll always disagree with other people. So if you want to evolve, really work on the neutrality. Okay. In order to just clear this picture off your screen, you can imagine, because we don't want to leave pictures kind of sitting out in front of us. I want you to imagine that you can just kind of scrunch that whole movie theater visual up into your palms of your hand. I want you to put it in a big gold bubble. And then imagine that you have a pen where you can pop that bubble to disperse the energy. And then above your head, I want you to create another warm golden sun. And start to collect up your energy that got loosened up by doing this little bit of a healing with this other person. Especially if you have a lot of history with them, you're probably going to have energy that's stuck in the past, in pain pictures or in situations. So visualize your energy coming back into the sun above your head. Bring that sun in through the top of your head and fill yourself in. And then create one more golden sun above your head, and think about, you could either think about energies you want to set the rest of the month at, meaning maybe joy and neutrality, ease, love, enthusiasm, communication, creating, whatever that is. In order to fill that sun in with those energies, you can see them written as words in gold, floating into the sun. You could just put the postulates or the thoughts that as you come up with these energy vibrations, they just float into the sun above your head. Fill your sun up with where you want to vibrate for the rest of this week or the rest of the month. And when you're ready, you can bring that sun in through the top of your head, taking the time to fill yourself in completely. You can even run some of this gold energy down your grounding cord, so you're vibrating at those energies from the center of the planet, up your body, to your fingertips, to the top of your head. And you can set the energy every day, which is what I do. Use some golden suns to set the energy for how I want the day to go. And remember, whatever you set your energy at, using this tool of a golden sun, your chakras start to match that energy. And wherever your chakras vibrate, that energy vibrates out into your body and into your aura. And that's the energy people feel. And that's the energy you're going to vibrate back into your life. So if you're in a funky mood, you're grumpy, you'll probably run into other grumpy people. If you're not grounded and filled with some ease or flow or some gratitude, whatever that is, you might miss the stoplights, having a succession of having to stop at red lights. really when you fill up with ease and flow and gratitude and enthusiasm, you start magnetizing that energy back to you. Okay, go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope you all have a great holiday. I hope you can all find a lot of neutrality.